So welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start with the basics. And the basics is Fraunhofer Institute, Carnot network. Probably not many people here are familiar with that. I mean, tell me what your operating procedures are. What's your process, and how do you differ? Let's start with you, Małgorzata.
Yes, Carnot was created in 2006, but in Carnot Association we have many institutes who already transferred science to industry during more than 50 years. For example, Siegele. They worked in this way for many, many years. Not all the institute which belongs today has this experience. So Carnot Institute let us to exchange experience, share, make feedback of what we realized and help other new institutes become Carnot. We are evaluated as a Carnot. So every 3 years, a very strong evaluation, and we can lose Carnot label. So, it's evaluated on the amount of collaboration with industry. So this is very important, and making excellent science. So number of publications and so on and so on. So every 3 years, we can lose the label, or we can stay at the Carnot Institute.
So it seems to me it's more kind of a loose federation of research institutes. Is that a fair description?
Yes, we have, as Carnot organization, we have very light government. It's only 3 persons who are helping in order to organize meetings with the industry to share experience. And each institute is independent, is doing its own strategy. And after evaluation, we can get some money from government, some endowment, and it helps us to work on the future subjects and make some strategy, a scientific strategy. So, it works okay, because in last years we multiply by 4 number of amount of money which comes from partenarial research. So it was multiplied by 4, so I think it works.
Thank you. Herr Dickert, Fraunhofer seems to be quite different. I mean, you probably have more overhead, thicker horizontal layers, but give us an idea how it differs from Carnot.
Yeah, I'd like to. So Fraunhofer has a fixed role in the German ecosystem for innovation. So Fraunhofer is one of the 4 big non-university organizations in Germany. You all know for sure Max Planck. There's also Helmholtz and Leibniz. We are one of those private organizations. We receive public funding. And I would describe ourselves as that our main mission is doing applied research. We transfer results into the economy, research results into the economy. That's our leitmotif, our destination.
Now, second round, Małgorzata, tell me, how do you work actually with the public sector or with business? I mean, how does that work, or is that different from member to member institute?
The best way, let's go directly to the conclusion. The best way to work with industry is to create common labs, because only working together, sharing the roadmap, sharing the preoccupation, sharing the everyday hard work, we can understand their needs and transfer in a very efficient way. This is the principal way of collaboration, but we can give to industry as well use of our platforms. We have more than 100 platforms all over France. And
what exactly is a platform in that sense?
Platform is the competences and equipment gathered in the same space, and the the opportunity where they are a team who is very well trained to use all this equipment, so the industry people can use these platforms. They can use after the work hours, during the evening or night. They are open 24 hours a day, and during weekend. So it could help industries, small SMEs, to start something without spending a lot of money and having success, and verify that product is on the market well accepted.
Okay. Hey, Dickert, same question to you. I mean, how is that organized? I mean, it's probably hard to generalize, but give me some principles.
Imagine us as a research provider. So that means that companies in Germany, and it's all the same if it's a small company with 25 employees, or if it's a big major trust with 10,000 of employees, they contact us. They require a special technical solution. That can be a new material, a new circuit for microelectronics. This can be a new process for example, producing composite parts, or it can also be a small feasibility study. And then we conclude a contract with that company, and we commit ourselves to delivering the specified solution that the company exactly requires. So it's not the model that you see, for example, sometimes in the US, when universities work with companies. That means that a company might, for example, fund a PhD student that will cost $10,000 a year, and then they do a little bit of measurements or certifications, and then the company can dispose of those results. We do it differently. We really deliver the exact solution that is described in the respective contract.
So the company comes to you and says, we need to kind of
both ends.
Research that technology for that widget, and
yes,
and you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we also approach the companies. We have a very good network in Germany. Our customer base, to put it like that, is like 6,000 companies, and per year average we do projects worth 700 million euro. That's direct contract research for industry.
And the size of these companies, 6,000, what's the average size?
Like 60% of our customers are SME, using the SME criterion, smaller than 250 employees. And only 10% of our customers are the big companies, the OEMs. But they stand for 40% of our proceeds. That is almost 300 million euros. But we work with a company with 5 people, and we also work with a big OEM.
Małgorzata, is that structurally the same in France, or kind of do you work with bigger companies?
Well, I would say we are very much the same, so except that in our case, all the institutes are from different organizations, tutorial organizations, but the ICA, CNRS, INSERM, and others. So they have different strategy, but we share in order to upgrade our experience of all of us. We can do different type of collaboration with the industry. As my colleague described, it could be just one problem. We can realize some creativity sessions. So hear what industrial want, or we can help him even to imagine the next step in his products, because it's occasion to exchange during this creativity session. So there are the contracts, there are common labs, they are European project participation, and they are services as well. It's not a large part of our work, but 100 million euros, it's just the services. So they can use our platforms, and that helps them to position themselves on the market. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thomas, I mean, we just talked about AI here. Kind of how important is that for your work at this point, or is Fraunhofer?
I mean, that's one of those topics that kind of have a worldwide concern at the moment. So as I look at in direction France, for example, if you look in the coalition agreement, artificial intelligence research with France is definitely mentioned there. So if you look at it, it's AI is actually based on algorithms. That's mathematics. And we've been doing that for many years. We have one of our institutes, we have 72 institutes all over Germany, is solely dedicated to applied mathematics. And talking with these colleagues, we really see and hear that a new kind of boom time is starting for those technologies, because it's all going hand in hand. The digitalization of industry, cognitive systems, AI, as whatever you would like to put it. The internet is really just much more than a platform. It's also a tool that connects companies and people work on different places. So I think, yeah, AI is a big topic for us and is in the whole also for Germany, I would say.
But it seems to me, at least from seen from the outside, if I compare France with Germany, France has the rapport Villani, has a president is really behind AI, has given big speeches, even an interview to Wired magazine, whereas in Germany things seem to move much more slowly. Is that a fair description, or?
Let's see. I mean, I think in 1 week, there's the German-French research forum being held in Berlin. Both are ministers attending and taking part. I would say that this will definitely also be discussed there. As said, it's also in the coalition agreement, the collaboration with France. It says that there will be a new institute, a German-French institute for artificial intelligence. So let's see.
But I mean, traditionally, Germany has been relatively slow to kind of commercialize a lot of the research. And it seems to me AI is another of these examples. So there's lots of basic research being done in AI. I mean, it's probably been called differently, neural networks or what have you.
I mean,
earlier, I mean, for example, what can Poland learn from the German experience in the sense that, yes, there was a problem with commercialization. What do we need to do?
I mean, if we, for example, I'm talking just about our microcosmos. Yeah. If we look at spun-out companies, spin-offs, most companies at the moment are coming from the ICT area. I mean, the difference in Germany is that we do not have companies in the size of Google or Facebook or Microsoft. But all those companies also have their places in Germany. IBM has a huge research center in Munich. They're not producing there, that's research. So I would say that the topic is growing bigger, and maybe the main difference is that you do not connect a huge company name in ICT with Germany, maybe Siemens. But they are doing very, very different fields of business. So what can Poland learn? I think Poland is doing well. Poland is well known for its capacities in ICT research. There's a big cluster, as far as I know, in Wrocław. So I think they're doing it right.
Cool. I mean, but explain to me why France has jumped on AI much more quickly than other.
Sorry?
Why France has jumped much more quickly on AI than other
because
countries?
Because of our ministry, Cédric Villani was polarized on this subject. So there's initiative, very large initiative. It's not only Carnot institutes, but in this area we have the creation of a very large community of all institutes, CNRS, INRIA, CEA, and others coming from university. And well, the most important when you want to realize something is to have a little bit of help at a governmental level. And this is done by Cédric Villani, because it's easy now to explain. You don't lose your time, you just say, Cédric Villani report, you know, so are you interested or are you not interested? So it helps in everyday life, in the meetings with industry, during the event organization, when we meet industry, we organize 2-day meetings and we invite industry from all levels, huge companies, small companies, and then at this occasion they can exchange between them and with us. When they exchange between them, they can realize, well, this small company can help me in this particular part, and with our help. So very often it gives occasion to, let's say, ambitious realization during this meeting, where everybody is very open-minded and discuss all subjects.
I mean, last round of questions. I mean, I put this question to Professor Szorowski. I mean, it seems to me that if you look at kind of the juggernauts of the US and China in AI, and we ran a cover on kind of the battle for digital supremacy, and Europe didn't even show on that cover page. So I mean, generally, where do you see Europe's role in AI between those? I mean, China has a lot of data, has state support, even probably too much. In the US, you have Google, you have Facebook, you have Amazon, and so on. So what's your place here, kind of, or have you already lost?
I think as a Europe, we have our place in this cartography you described. I think we have our place because of inventivity of people, because of very good education, and in Poland there is very good education. They are very good base of, so this gives area and occasion to be inventive, and we saw today all these startups or all this realization which were famous, fantastic. I am very happy to come to this meeting and see all these startups, because I think there is a place, and Poland, I think we have to believe in European, for example, I give an example in cyber security. We have a project, European project, which aim is to identify all teams working in cybersecurity in Europe. And when we realize it, it gives occasion to know each one and share. We can work on this part, you can work on this part, and we go quicker. If we work each separated, the way is very long, and it costs a lot of money for each country. So we have to share in order to organize this, well, let's say, course, in order to arrive quicker at the good position.
Thank you.
I would see it similarly. I mean, our governments are really taking this up as a new priority in their research agendas. There are many countries in Europe that have strengths in ICT and that will follow that. Nevertheless, I think we have to stay open, and you mentioned the US and China, and they're really heavyweights in that area, but I think we have to be open for collaboration still. If we manage to kind of build on our knowledge and our capacities, but also kind of search partnerships with the best, I think that's the way to do it. You can discuss very critically about China. You're absolutely right. But on the other hand, in my view, it would be a mistake not to work with them and not to look at those partners.
I agree.
Okay, thank you very much. Time's up.
Thanks to you. Thank you for invitation.
Thank you very much.